Hello again to Bourne Primary School. The question today is from Mia and Poppy, and it's what missions and what research projects I'm currently working on. So you're going to get a wobbly tour of my office in this one, so that I can remember all of the different projects that I'm working on. So first, you're going to see a video of one of my impact simulations. I look at what happens when an asteroid hits the Earth. And I do that by studying the impact craters themselves, like in the field, looking at the seismic data so that we can get an idea of what's happening beneath the surface. And I also then put all of the known facts that we have into a computer model and get some more answers out of that. So I'm going to run you one of my computer models here. So in this simulation, the red is the asteroid about to hit the blue water layer above limestone in green. So the asteroid smashes into the surface, it excavates this massive hole, fractures the rock, and then if it's a large enough crater, you get that central uplift there. And so that forms what we call a central peak crater. Of the crater. So this would look like a great big hole with a kind of lump in the middle of it, and that's a central peak crater. So that's some of the earthwork that I'm doing. Moving further out into the solar system, second part of my job is a high-rise targeting specialist. So this is my high-rise planning window. I've got my picture of Mars there, and then I'm planning an image right here at the moment. And I pay attention to what the other instruments are doing, so that I don't try and take a photo while one of the other instruments is trying to collect their data. So we all need to coordinate together to make sure that we get all of the science data we need. So continuing our wobbly tour, to take us, I'd forgotten about the moon. So as well as looking at impact craters on Earth, I also do a lot of impact simulations and measurement of impact craters on the moon. This is a relatively small crater, maybe 5 kilometers across, is characteristic of this size. You get this kind of bright ejecta blanket where fresh material was thrown out onto the lunar surface. This is one of the high-rise images that I took of some icy terrain towards the north. And then further out in the solar system, sorry, this is ending up being quite a long video. I forgot how many projects I'd got going. I'm working with some of Jupiter's moons. So remember I answered the last question was Jupiter's moon Ganymede. I'm also working on a couple of missions, like planning a few instrument developments for Jupiter's moon Europa, and hopefully would be involved in a mission going there, and a couple of things to do with Callisto, and then Ganymede's always my pet. And you remember I have a cat named Ganymede, I also have a cat named Europa as well, but my husband wouldn't let me continue with the set, so he named the dog instead. And then even further out in the solar system, I'm a member of the New Horizons team. So that was the mission to Pluto and beyond into the Kuiper Belt. So I've been looking at the different features on Pluto. And because this was the most recent mission that I was involved with, I wasn't just studying the craters for this one. I was being what we call a comparative planetologist, which is a fancy way of saying that I've looked at enough planets and moons now that I can compare them. And so when we're seeing something totally new, like we were with Pluto, it will remind me of certain places that I've seen on Mars, on the moon, on the icy satellites, and I can use my understanding of those processes to work out what we might be seeing on Pluto. Sorry, that was a long message, but thank you, Mia and Poppy, for the question.